sometimes it's hard to know what's what, with all the different theories and different stuff that's out there to do with the psyche, and also throwing mental health into the equation of having pure OCD. I think sometimes it's allowing the thoughts, because a lot of people, they say most people get intrusive thoughts. The difference with pure OCD is you can't stop having them sometimes, or you try and resist. I try and resist them, or fearing them, or analysing them. Whereas a lot of people will just let a thought come and let a thought go, and they don't attach meaning to it. Whereas with pure OCD, one does attach meaning to it. And I think facing the shadow is a separate thing, or I don't really know, but the shadow within is a lot of the defects of character, like greed, lust, all that stuff. And I think it's really good to really I do the meditation. I just try and concentrate on my breath and just allow these thoughts and feelings to come, body sensations, whatever. Just allow stuff to unfold. And I'll be honest, when I took LSD, I'm not advocating taking LSD. When I took LSD and I had a bad trip when I was a kid, it showed me all this OCD stuff. I didn't realise what it was, but my mind just kept going round in circles, just loops, obsessive loops of thinking. And I wouldn't say that's the shadow. I try not to get too bent up with the shadow stuff, but I think what I'm trying to say is to bring stuff to the open, to bring stuff out. You know what I mean? And not let it trip you up throughout your life. And I'm working on addiction in all areas. And, I think it's a, if you're a drug addict and you're in recovery, it comes out in different ways, in food, in sex, and gambling. I think the biggest addiction now is social media. Social media, Facebook seems to be a massive addiction for a lot of people. That approval seeking and not feeling, and they wanting likes up, and people have unfriended me and people are friending me. I think it's very backward kind of stuff, takes people to the school ground level, and people writing stuff about this, that and the other, and not really thinking about how that affects others maybe. And I mean, I did some in Warriors, which is the Mankind Project. I did some shadow work there, and I helped others do some. And it's deep stuff, These days, I just think it's good to just not to dwell in it, but like I say, to bring it to the front of, because it can lose power then. I mean, sometimes within me, I feel like kicking I have an aggression in me sometimes, and anger. I think it's good just to bring it all out and cop your feelings and your thoughts around stuff. And I don't totally know what shadow is. I think it's the unseen. it's stuff that's repressed. No, I do know. It's stuff that's repressed, denied, and shoved down. And with that, I think it's good to let it come to the surface and look at it and go, okay, face the shadow, basically. So I've told other people that I trust, bring it out into the open. And one of the things I struggle with is addiction in other areas in my life. And I'm about 6 or 7 days away from it. And I have to stay away from certain people that can encourage me into this behavior. And I've told someone last night I've had to let them go. I still keep them as a friend, but as someone who helps me on my path, I've had to tell them, you know, because even last night they said, well, you might go there. And, you know, I've told them it's dangerous for my life. It's addiction. It could end up, you know, and yet later on in the conversation, they're still saying, well, you might go there again sometime. Don't you understand? Don't you understand what I'm telling you? This stuff is deadly to me. Yeah, like going to certain countries and acting out with women and stuff like that. No, mate, I can't do that stuff. It's you know, and I'm actually angry that this person has promoted this thing for a long time, and I'm angry with myself that I bought into it, and I forgive myself and I forgive him. But I see some people are sick, you know, in some areas, and they take you hostage, basically. They take you hostage if you're not careful. That's what addiction does. It happens with drugs, but it happens in other areas, and you just got to let these people go and be very careful around them. Don't let them have any say really on anything in your life once they go twisted like that, because it's not worth it. Got to stay strong and cut free from the people, places and things. It's the same thing. If you've got a problem with an addiction, whether it's drugs, sex, gambling, food, you've got to change the people, the places and the things around that. Otherwise, it'll just hook you back in. And that's where I'm at with it. I've gone like a little while now where I've shut down the Facebook account. I've had no contact with this woman. I've shut down the person that's meant to be helping me, and I'm going to get someone else eventually. I'd rather have no one than someone that's potentially damaging. And that's the way I look at it. No disrespect, because the person has helped me for many years and I'm grateful for that. However, it's gone sour, and you know, that's the way it goes. Anyway, facing the shadow, taking personal responsibility and not blaming others. I don't blame people, because I'm a 47-year-old man. I take responsibility. I can see what's happened, turn it around. And life, it takes decisive action sometimes, and go, you know what, fuck it, I'm not playing this game, and come off it, you know. Anyway, I'll leave it there.